Eve. He is so prominent to us. So again, here we sit in this building that y'all appreciate so much, the Eve family. So we have the cotton gin, and then we have the knowledge, our learned knowledge of St. Matthew's Church. Now, Chris, yesterday you were at St. Matthew's Church.
Yes, indeed.
And the impression you got?
It was a very impressive place.
And?
So,
And your great-great-grandfather?
he was designed or something.
Architect, yes. So here we have in the church in Philadelphia for his great-great-great-grandfather, and then we have him at St. Matthew's for his great-great-grandfather. Stated his place here in the Bahamas. Part of the charm of learning Chris's family is that some of them have been U.S. senators, governor, and now I know where this intellect comes from. He really has a wonderful mind, and I would imagine it's what we call DNA. And so whenever Chris touches me, I say, Chris, because I didn't know any of these words as a high school student, not going into college, but he tells me his molecules go through me. So please be sure and shake his hand tonight. Right, so I did something else with the ancestor journey. With all of the Eves, the father and the mother, I note that they lived from the age of 69 to 92. So here's the winner, right? Again, the book will be passed around. Oh, we even went to the 202 acres of Oswald Eve, Triple Oswald Eve, where the gunpowder mill was, and located in a town called Frankfort, Pennsylvania. So, I'd like to have you understand Chris's mind a little bit. There is a poetry. Now, I understand Joseph Eve is a scientist, inventor, poet, and later a medical doctor. So Chris is a scientist, an inventor, and a poet. And this is a piece of poetry he wrote. And prior to, for 45 years, Chris has been working, and I think the young students will enjoy this, on the theory of creation. Words are so scientific, I won't even say it. But this is the continuing, conservative, cosmic creation from nothing. So Chris writes here, a line that has stayed with me, page 19. I studied physics for 50 years.
What?
You studied physics for 50 years.
I know.
Right.
That I found God.
I've asked him at home to read this piece of poetry, and it doesn't quite come out the way he wants it to, so I'd like to read it to you. I tell you truly, in fact I swear, it follows from E equals mc squared. If the rest mass be zero and the energy finite, the speed is stuck at the speed of light. Now just where are conditions so? With the proton, of course, and the neutrino. The neutrino seems to be humble and small, but the neutrino is really the key to it all. Its total mass and its total charge are just the same as those totals at large. From creation of nothing, the total of each must be zero since the infinite reach of conservation law has kept it so. Yes, present totals must yet be zero. Zero charge and zero mass must account for all solids, liquid, and gas. No problem at all. This goes on. No problem at all with total of charge. Both plus and minus are familiars writ large. They appear together in conservative production and pull together to conservative destruction. It's like the Wizakar, which Chris tells me, what does Wizakar mean?
Maybe it's wisdom, I'm not sure. Wisdom. Someone who thinks she's, I don't know, wise.
Wise. Okay. So it's like the Wizakar, like to tell, opposites attract, and likes repel. Now, where will such process with mass be found? Plus and minus must match pound for pound. But the mass we know that likes attract, so opposite must repel, in fact. No wonder as we look around, no negative mass is ever found. Offhand, we may curtly say, negative mass went that way, and point to vast void twixt galaxy groups, and make claim to fame for the scoop of scoops. But ahoy, avast, come back down to earth, and show in more detail this great vision's worth. Now down to earth with this demand, for a poor accounting you can understand. With the demand, my poet sprite zipped off that away into the night. The final words he said to me, let your good judgment set you free. And that is his poem. Chris, please understand that all of these people are here to listen to you. Share wisdom.
Thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. Hopefully. I don't appreciate what I have to say. We're going to talk about creation of the beginning of creation. Creation is a process and also the result. The result is what we see. The entire universe. The process is something God we all know. And we have all the conservation of mass that it still goes on. I have something written up there. So my theory has it that positive mass and negative mass were both created from zero mass, from nothing. 1 minus 1 equals 0. So 0 equals 1 minus 1. Or a billion minus a million. So we were 100 billion plus mass, and negative mass is over accelerating away from us. So there we have the expanding, accelerating progress. If what wasn't, it would be decelerating because the attractive geometric, geographical attraction would make it slow down and then come back up to a big smash. What we see is the fact that the cosmos is expanding and increasing, accelerating expanding, means that half the mass is repelling the other half, like positive mass is negative mass. So the total of cosmos is very simple. 0. 1 minus 1, or a billion minus a million, whatever you put it, is 0. So that's a very simple theory of resistance. And now what happens on the other negative mass side may be just as good or bad as what we have right here. So that's the very simple theory of existence. And I kind of looked it up.
Seems to my mind, to my heart, that though Chris is not talking to you about Joseph Eve, Chris is a product of Joseph Eve, and that within your own lives, perhaps